And welcome to our first segment of Sports Central. Hank Longo along with Neil Duncan, and a fun show today.
Absolutely. This first segment is going to be brought to us by the Parkview Hotel, and great show, and let's get right into it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest joining us on our first segment, the CEO of Sun and Fun, Mr. John Lights Leenhouts, joining us today. And John, great having you on the show.
Oh, it's thrilling to be here. I'm just glad I was able to squeeze a little time out of the schedule to come on over here and tell everybody else about all the fun stuff we're doing at it. Sun and Fun.
Well, you got 12 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, ready to start.
Here we go. Well, we've got the MASH, the Make Aviation Scholarship happen, and let's talk about that. That's a big event.
Well, this is our
up.
third year in doing what we call the Hangar Door Canteen. It's actually in a hangar, and the whole purpose of this is to raise awareness for education, aviation education, as well as raise funds for our scholarships. This year, we've changed it from what has in the past been either World War I or World War II theme to a more of a MASH theme, obviously from Korea, and Colonel Potter and the crowd, Hot Lips Houlihan and Hawkeye and all the rest. And so this year, our use of the acronym MASH was changed over to meet our goal, which is making aviation scholarships happen. It's going to be on Friday night, the 9th of November, in Lakeland at the Sun and Fun campus. It'll open up at around 6 o'clock in the evening, $75 a ticket, and the whole purpose is to bring people in, and we're going to showcase the kids that we're actually changing their lives, because we, as you well know, we have the Central Florida Aerospace Academy right on our campus with about 300 kids, and so they're going to be actually helping in this, and it'll be an evening of fun and frivolity, some silent and live auction, and then just the camaraderie and sharing of, let's just say, the successes of some to help others get started in their lives.
Now, there's a military discount on that pricing, correct?
Absolutely. It's right there on our website, www.sun-fun.org, and it'll list in there the price for the military. And I think it's somewhere in the order of about $40-some. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But I can tell you that it's really the opportunity is for buying a table for 8 as a corporate sponsor, and then there's different levels of corporate sponsorships that go up from there to get your name on the signage throughout the program, as well as being recognized on the stage when we do the presentations.
Tell the folks about the aviation program that aren't aware of it, our viewers that are maybe just finding out about this for the first time now.
Well, what's really cool is not only do we have a aerospace high school on campus, which is freshmen 9 through 12, but we also have the Lakeland Aero Club, which is associated with it, run by kids. And in this club, the kids are actually, if they qualify with a 2.75 grade point average, and they've had a clean record, and they're decent young men and women, can apply for a scholarship, and we pay for their flight lessons, all the way to private pilot. It's 75% comes out of our foundation fund, 25% out of their pocket, or if they are financially challenged, they are given the opportunity to volunteer on our campus and do a myriad of tasks, and that part will be covered as well. So they could literally walk out of high school with a private pilot license at the age of 17, free of charge, which is fantastic. We've added the Civil Air Patrol. The headquarters for Florida is moving to our campus. We have the largest squadron in the state of Florida for Civil Air Patrol with all the kids. We have several flight schools that have been added to our campus as well. So now we have 3 flight schools to choose from. Our focus has switched from being the spring break for pilots to now the motto is a brighter future through aviation. So throughout the year, we have a myriad of opportunities for people to engage, not only in flying, but to give back and get a young generation of kids into this profession of aviation. Whether they fly or not is not relevant. It's more important they get into a more regimented, disciplined, accountable, responsible career field of either designing, building, repairing, or even flying aircraft that gives them people skills that helps them become really good citizens.
Is it true that obviously aviation, it's been cost prohibitive to certain people, and this allows them that opportunity to do something they may not have been able to do
Absolutely.
otherwise?
You know, a typical, I mean, let's face it, you and I couldn't have paid for a private pilot license of $10,000 or $11,000 in high school. And by the time you got past it into college, you have college bills. Next thing you know, you're married, you got a job, you got kids. And then that dream of flying an airplane vaporizes until you get to a more comfortable place in life where you've saved up, and now you're in your 50s. And I've got friends that are doing that now. But wouldn't it be great to get more kids involved in it at an early age? I don't know that the world is necessarily paying attention to the fact, but because the aviation industry shifted after 9/11 and people were not so enamored with becoming an aviator, and getting into the world of professional flying that we stop producing high-end air transport pilots. Well, those that are in the business are up for retirement age of 65, mandatory. So in the next 6 to 7 years, we're going to lose almost 30 to 40% of those qualified to fly you and I around on Delta, United, American, UPS, FedEx. Those people, and the replacements for them don't exist. So we're all in a struggle to find how we're going to produce.
There's quite a job market out there that's
huge.
That's going to be opening up, and here we have the opportunity for these
Exactly.
kids in our county to get educated to pursue that profession. And it's a lucrative profession on top of that.
Extremely lucrative in a long career field, and it's got multiple layers of opportunity, all the way from flying it to right on through the people that repair and build and manage and maintain those aircraft. So it's a huge industry that changed the face of the world. I mean, I don't know if anybody really cares, but January 1st, coming up here in 2014, will be the 100th anniversary of the first commercial airline ever started, which took the world, which was this giant 20,000-mile circle, this globe, down to a shrunk, small basketball size that we take for granted that every day we can get up. We can fly from here to Zurich or go to San Diego for the day and come back.
Yeah.
That didn't happen overnight. Happened in 100 years, but the reality is the people that fly those airplanes, they're getting less and less of them, and we've got to do something about it. So Sun and Fun's taken the stance that our job is not to just throw one big spring break party for pilots in April of every year, but to be year-round engaged in enhancing the future of flight through world-class events, and we're going to inspire and educate people of all ages to get into aviation.
Well, the economic impact from the flying itself is huge for Polk County and the Central Florida area. It seems that you're diversifying that for other things. What are some of the other programs that you guys have going on there that people can attend?
Oh, this is going to be a couple of great ones coming up right away. Right after the Hangar Door Canteen, the MASH theme, on Friday night the 9th. On the 10th, you can come out there in the afternoon. We open the gates around 4:30. Bring your cooler, your lawn chair, your blanket, kids, dog, whatever. Come on out to our campus, and at 6 o'clock in the evening, we're going to have the first ever nighttime on-the-grass symphony by the Lakeland Imperial Symphony Orchestra, and it's a patriotic tribute to our veterans. So there'll be a lot of flying going on first. A glider will be gliding around at night while the symphony's playing, and it's going to be open to the public. It's $20 a person. It's free parking. We'd love to have you come and enjoy it. They've done these at Bach Tower, and now we're doing it at Sun and Fun, and it's going to be a year-round event that we'll do every Veterans Weekend to recognize our veterans, and the money once again goes for those aviation scholarships for kids to put them into college and get them into flying. A month later, on the 1st of December, Saturday, all day long is going to be the first ever fly-in barbecue competition, and it's when we're terming it When Pigs Fly South. And it'll be open to the public, and you'll be able to come in there and taste and enjoy all the different flavors of barbecue, and it will be a competition. We'll have airplanes fly in, we'll have cars that'll come in for the car show, and motorcycles will come in for the motorcycle show. So you'll have plenty to look and see, because our campus is 180 acres. We got lots of room. Right. So our goal is to share that with Polk County. In the past, it's been somewhat hidden back there, but now we're opening it up, and we're making sure that for the future, it's a gym, an aviation destination for Polk County and Central Florida. And then following that, we are now in the final days of confirming and validating the reality that on the first Thursday and Friday in March, and I don't have the dates, but that's going to be the first ever General Aviation Caucus. All the members of Congress and the Senate are going to convene in Lakeland at our campus, and they're going to solidify their platform on what they're going to fight in Congress for general aviation to protect our rights to fly, and then they're going to present that to the public, whoever shows up, on Friday afternoon. So they were going to solidify their team, new elected officials, whether it be congressional leaders or Senate leaders throughout the nation, and they're going to come together and put their political face forward, and they're going to take questions from the audience and then tell the audience what they're doing to ensure that general aviation is a bright and illustrious future and not have restraining orders on it like they do all the rest of the world, where you can't hardly fly like we can here in America.
Wow. Now, you have an aviation background, which is pretty fascinating. Would it be a Navy pilot?
Yes, sir.
And landing on aircraft, you've had more aircraft landings than anybody.
Yes, sir.
I got two questions for you that I think would just be fun for the audience. Number one, I mean, what is it like flying a jet and landing on an aircraft carrier? What goes through your mind when you're trying? Because the boat can be moving as well, depending on when you're flying. It's just not out in the middle of the calm. You're out in the middle of the ocean. How did you get inspired to do that?
It was either that or continue pumping gas in Kansas for the rest of my life. So I was highly motivated. Okay, so I wanted to get out of the Midwest and have a brighter future, and aviation was the answer. Got into naval aviation because, quite candidly, a guy showed up on our flight ramp where I was pumping gas at an airport in college at Oklahoma State, and he was surrounded by all these college girls, and I went, I want his job. And he told me that there was a bright future in aviation. So I joined up in the Navy, and literally within 2 years, I was flying off aircraft carrier around the world. And to say that it was exhilarating is an understatement. It's the most challenging thing you will ever, both mentally and physically. You have to be at the top of your game. It's an Olympic sport every single day, and you can't miss. You've got to land on this. You can't miss. That's not an option. Failure is not an option. And actually, there's a T-shirt that says, "If carrier aviation, if you don't make it the first time, it's definitely not for you." So it's exhilarating but rewarding. Every time you land on a ship, as you make the approach, you don't think about anything except all of the parameters that have to be met, both being on the exact speed with plus or minus a couple of miles per hour, being on a window of width about plus or minus 10 feet, a touchdown zone that's less than 150 feet, and you have to be on the exact glide path of 3.5 degrees. And if you're off any of those parameters by very much, you're waved off, or you miss the ship and you land long. I mean, you can hit the deck and miss the wires and fly around. But the bottom line is that if you don't keep that consistent performance up every day, they fire you. So you're graded every time you land. So if you don't keep your grade point up, they fire you, take the wings off of you, and send you off to go do something else. So it is a Olympic sport of the highest degree. And then add to that night, bring the weather down, make it snow, make the deck start moving in the North Atlantic off the coast of Norway, and all of a sudden you're a baby bunny staring at a freight train. I don't know what the world I'm doing here.
Wow.
Did you hear the real answer in there, though?
Yeah.
It was about a girl.
Yeah.
It was about a girl.
Meeting a girl.
You know, you said it very elegantly, but it was about a girl.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now my next question. Can you imagine what it was like to be Fearless Felix jumping off that capsule at 23 miles up in the air?
No. Matter of fact, the guy who put that together is a dear friend, Joe Kittering. Joe Kittering was the first one to leap out of a gondola at 103,000 feet in 1961.
It was 50 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And
yeah, 62.
I mean, and the technology wasn't anything compared to what it is today.
Oh no! When Joe Kittering was a captain in the Air Force in 1962, he went up in an open gondola basket, a woven basket, with this helium balloon, and he goes up. And at 103,000 feet, he just gets out of his lawn chair, looks down at the earth, and steps out. And you know, this one that just happened last week was extremely well planned out, as safe as it could be, and a phenomenal job done to make it come out successful. But I can tell you that the heartbeat must have been pretty high, a lot like it is when you're landing on a ship at night.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable.
Well, just to recap, November 9th is the MASH, the Make Aviation Scholarships Happen, 6 p.m.
Yes, sir.
There at the campus of Sun and Fun. Give us the website one more time.
Sun and Fun, it's www.sun-in-fun.org.
Okay, and they can get all the information they need.
Everything's right there. You can
get
get your tickets online. We'd love to have you do that. Come on out and enjoy that. And the next day is going to be Red, White, and Blue Salute to Veterans on the grass. If you like to listen to symphony, patriotic music, flying in the background, relax with your family, do that. And then don't miss when pigs fly south. It's going to be a hoot.
All right. Well,
Sounds
thank you so much.
John, thanks for joining us. Great. We can keep up this conversation all show.